Chosen one, heaven has been watching you. While the world passed by unaware, while no eyes turned toward your quiet courage, God was already focused intensely, intimately on the posture of your heart. You were not seeking attention. You were not trying to prove your worth. Yet in the unseen places where only truth remains, your obedience spoke louder than 1,000 voices, and it reached the throne of God. There was no applause, no spotlight, no reward, just you and your decision to stay faithful when it hurt, to remain kind when it would have been easier to retaliate, to hold on to purity in a world that trades it for power. That one decision, that one sacred act done in silence, caused a shift in the divine order. You did not know it, but all of heaven stood still. God saw it. God recorded it. God marked it as holy. You see, chosen one, the world rewards the visible, but God rewards what is hidden. And in you he found a soul that could not be bought, a heart that remained soft in suffering, a spirit that chose light over bitterness. Others chased the wind. You chose to stay grounded in him. That is what set you apart. That is what made you chosen. You were not louder, you were truer. You were not perfect, but you were real. And God responds to what is real. Now the time has come. The same God who watched in silence is now speaking. The same God who waited is now moving. And he moves on your behalf. Not because you asked to be elevated, but because you remained faithful in the valley. Not because you demanded, but because you trusted. You, chosen one, have been seen by God, and what he saw in you has set in motion a shift that no man can stop. The heavens have already begun to turn the page. What was hidden will be revealed. What was delayed will now be delivered. You are no longer waiting, you are being called forth. This is sacred. This is not random. This is divine orchestration, and it begins now. You did not know it, chosen one, but heaven has been watching with divine intensity, not merely observing your steps, but measuring your motives. There was a moment, small in human eyes, yet vast in the eternal realm, when you could have responded in anger, but chose gentleness instead. When you could have defended yourself, but remained silent. When you were overlooked and still gave. That moment was not just seen, it was sacred. It pierced through the noise of the earth and reached the ears of the Almighty. God does not reward appearances. He honors alignment. And in your stillness, in your restraint, in your willingness to be last when others rushed to be first, something powerful happened in the unseen realm. You touched the heart of God not through great acts, but through small holy choices. While others sought position, you chose posture. While others performed, you remained rooted. It was not weakness, it was wisdom. It was not hesitation, it was humility. You chose character when no one clapped. And in doing so, you revealed the kind of strength heaven can trust. As C.S. Lewis wrote, "In mere Christianity, we are always completely and therefore equally known to God." That is our destiny, whether we like it or not. But though this knowledge never varies the quality of our being known, this truth underscores the significance of your quiet faithfulness. Your small, holy choices in obscurity were fully known to God, enhancing the quality of your alignment with his purpose, making you a vessel trusted by heaven for what is to come. Do not underestimate what that choice unlocked, chosen one. While you wept in solitude, thinking nothing was changing, God was moving pieces into place. While you questioned whether your goodness had been wasted, God was whispering your name to someone on earth with the ability to change everything. You activated a divine chain reaction, not through striving, but through surrender. That is what made the difference. Heaven does not move for the proud. It moves for the pure. And because your heart remained clean when it could have turned bitter, God has chosen to make you a living answer to prayers. You forgot you prayed. This moment was not earned through perfection. It was born through persistence. The kind that bends but does not break. The kind that bleeds but still blesses. The kind that heaven watches in awe. You were not trying to impress. That is what made it powerful. You were not performing. That is what made it holy. And now everything is changing, not because you forced the change, but because you became the kind of vessel heaven could pour through. Chosen one, the silence you endured was never absence. It was preparation. And what you did when no one noticed has now drawn the gaze of God, and that gaze does not turn away empty. It brings recompense. It brings restoration. And now it brings movement. There is a man, chosen one. You do not know his name, but heaven does. He was not sent by coincidence. He was not guided by logic. He was moved by a whisper. My whisper. While you were enduring in silence, he was being prepared in silence. I placed your name in the wind, and the wind found its way to him. He does not come to rescue you, for I have already done that. He comes as a key, not a crown, a door, not your destination. He is a carrier of provision, not the source of your purpose. This man is wealthy, yes, but it is not his wealth that matters to me. It is his obedience. His heart has been stirred, not by your achievements, but by your essence. He felt something when he saw you, and though he could not explain it, I was already speaking to him before he ever laid eyes on you. This one, I said, help this one. And he listened not with haste, but with reverence. See, yes. Lewis, in letters to Malcolm chiefly on prayer, wrote, "We may ignore, but we can nowhere evade the presence of God. The world is crowded with him. He walks everywhere, incognito." This insight reveals the divine orchestration behind the man's arrival. His obedience to God's whisper, though incognito, aligns with your essence, guided by the ever-present hand of God to fulfill a prophetic assignment in your life. He is not a man who boasts. He is not impressed by what the world applauds. He values peace over performance, truth over image, presence over presentation. That is why I chose him, because he would not be swayed by surface, because he would recognize the rare treasure hidden in your humility. He does not know the full extent of what I am doing in you, but he knows enough to respond, and that is all I required of him: obedience. Understand this, chosen one. I did not send a man who would be captivated by charisma. I sent one who would honor character. He is coming not as your reward, but as a sign that the reward has already been decreed. He will not complete you, but he will confirm what I have spoken over you in secret. He will not become your savior, but he will serve as a vessel through which my favor flows. This is not about romance. This is about realignment. This is not about power. It is about purpose. He does not carry everything you need, but he carries exactly what I need him to bring to your next season. Do not fear his arrival. Do not question his motives. He was not led by feelings. He was led by me, and I do not lead in vain. I am the God who calls people from far-off places for precise prophetic assignments, and this man is one of them. You were hidden for a time so I could test hearts, and his heart passed the test. That is why he is being released into your story. Not to fix you, not to validate you, but to partner with what I am building through you. Let him come. Let the door open. And when it does, remember, it was not chance. It was me, chosen one, while you wept in secret. I was already preparing movement. While you wondered if anything would ever shift, I was setting things in divine alignment. The relocation has already begun, not merely in space, but in spirit. This is not just a physical transition. This is a complete reordering of your environment, your identity, your influence, your atmosphere. What is coming will not resemble what you've endured. I am not simply moving you to a new place. I am moving you into a new dimension. Your name is being spoken in rooms you have never entered. Conversations are unfolding where your hands have never reached. I have placed you on the hearts of those with power to release what was once withheld. This shift is not sudden to me. It has been long prepared. It is only now being revealed to you because your spirit is finally ready to carry the weight of what I am about to place upon your life. I am not moving you for vanity. I am moving you for victory. The battles you fought in silence have not been ignored. They have been counted as honor. You proved trustworthy in obscurity. Now I can trust you with visibility. But this new ground will not come with chaos. It will come with clarity. You will not enter it confused. You will step into it with the full awareness that this is the reward of faithfulness, not a fruit of striving. Yes, chosen one, there will be those who question it. There will be whispers of confusion, of jealousy, of disbelief. But do not be shaken. You owe no one an explanation for what I am doing. What I release, no man can restrict. What I lift, no hand can lower. You will not need to force the door. It will open for you. You will not need to beg for space. Room will be made. Everything about this relocation will carry my fingerprints. The people, the timing, the opportunities, it will all bear the mark of my intention. This is not your doing. It is mine. And when I move, I do not ask for permission. I do not need consensus. I only require one thing: a pure vessel. And that is what you have become. The place where you've been is too small for what I've placed inside you. That's why you've felt pressure. That's why you've outgrown the atmosphere around you. The season of restriction is ending. The expansion begins now. You will breathe differently. You will speak with authority. You will stand in rooms that once intimidated you, not as a stranger, but as one sent by me. You may ask, why me? And I will answer you plainly, because it had to be you. Not because you were the loudest. Not because you were the most qualified in the eyes of man. Not because you had a perfect record. But because, chosen one, your heart remained uncorrupted in a world that rewards performance over purity. I searched not for perfection, but for truth. And in you I found what few could carry: humility in hardship, gentleness in rejection, honor without demand. You chose to remain loyal when others walked away. You chose to keep loving even when your own heart bled. You were not driven by applause. You were anchored by conviction. You passed tests no one saw. You stood in fire that no one felt. You gave when no one returned the favor. And that is why I chose you, because you did not shift when the world shifted, because you did not change your light to fit in with the darkness, because you stood when it was easier to retreat. Heaven took notice of every moment. You remained faithful when it would have been easier to fold. And now heaven responds. C.S. Lewis in the Screwtape Letters wrote, "Courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point." This profound truth captures the essence of your hidden faithfulness. Your quiet endurance, choosing character over applause, was courage at its testing point, embodying every virtue heaven cherishes, making you worthy of the divine reward, now unfolding. This relocation is not a reward for show. It is an inheritance for faithfulness. It is the outward manifestation of years of hidden obedience. I did not choose you because you were trying to be seen. I chose you because you were willing to be unseen, yet still pure. That is the weight your spirit carries now, the weight of being the one who was trusted with silence and still believed. So when the doors begin to open, walk through them not in arrogance but in awe, not as one who climbed, but as one who was carried. Let them wonder why it is you. Let them question. But you will know, it is not because of what you did in front of the crowd, but because of who you remained when no one was watching. That is what I honor. That is what I bless. Chosen one, I need you to see clearly the man I am sending is not your rescue. He is not the answer to your identity, nor the anchor to your destiny. He is not the prize. He is the passage. He is not the purpose. He is the portal. He is not the source. He is the sign. I, the Lord your God, remain your source. Always. The man who is coming has been instructed not by man, but by me. He does not even know the fullness of what he carries. He does not yet understand how his obedience will intersect with your purpose. But he has heard enough of my voice to move, and that is what matters. He has been positioned not because of his wealth, but because of his willingness, not because of his strength, but because of his submission. I have not chosen a man impressed by masks or performances. I have chosen one who honors purity, who discerns presence, who does not need a spotlight to act in obedience. He is coming not because you chased him, but because I called him, and I do not call without reason. But listen closely, chosen one. Do not idolize him. Do not fear him. Do not shrink before him. And do not elevate him above the one who sent him. He is not your savior. He is a servant within the storyline I have authored. Treat him with grace, honor, and discernment. But never forget who wrote this chapter. I did. I am. He will offer something that feels too good to be true, not because it is a fantasy, but because it is finally favor. You have been trained to expect delay, disappointment, and rejection. But now I teach you how to receive. This is not a trap. This is not manipulation. This is what happens when my timing collides with your trust. The man will not carry everything, but he will carry a piece, an essential piece of what your future requires. His presence will confirm what I whispered in the dark. You are not forgotten. His actions will echo. My voice, I am fulfilling what I promised. So when he comes, receive him not as your answer, but as your assignment. Receive him with the same faith you held when no one was watching. Remember, he is not the destination. He is the door. And I, the Lord your God, am the one who opens it. Chosen one, I have not forgotten. Every moment you wondered if I saw, you know this now. I did. I always did. While others scrolled past your pain, I recorded every tear. While the world ignored your consistency, I counted each act of quiet goodness as treasure in my courts. What you gave when no one thanked you, what you endured when no one stood beside you, what you whispered in prayer when your voice trembled from exhaustion. I heard all of it. Not one moment was wasted. Not one seed was ignored. You have not gone unseen. You have gone preserved. I did not deny you. I was developing you. I was preparing the foundation not for a small blessing, but for a lasting one. I was guarding your heart, not from love, but from premature exposure. I was shielding your name not to hide you, but to mature you. Because when I bless, I do not give partial recompense. I restore with increase. And the time has come. Do not believe the lie that tells you nothing came of your kindness. It was not weakness. It was warfare. And you won. Every time you stayed soft instead of becoming bitter, the heavens rejoiced. Every time you forgave without being asked, you disarmed hell. Every time you prayed through silence, you wrote a line in the story that only heaven could author. This is not just harvest season. It is justice season. It is the hour where I vindicate what no one else could see and reward what no one else understood. Chosen one, even when you thought you failed, when you doubted your own worth, heaven was still writing. I was still watching. You didn't need to be loud to be loved. You didn't need to be perfect to be chosen. You just needed to be faithful, and that you were. So now I respond, not with crumbs but with overflow, not with a portion but with fulfillment. What is coming is not a repayment. It is an unveiling. I am revealing the true weight of what you carried with grace. And I will not allow your faithfulness to be buried beneath the noise of lesser things. The reward is not just what you will receive. It is what you have become. You are not the same as when you began. And that is what I honor most. The transformation, the trust, the tenderness, all of it has made you ready. Heaven has remembered, and heaven does not remember in vain. Chosen one. What was sown in secret will now be harvested in full view. What you gave without recognition, what you offered without applause, what you carried without complaint, now it shall rise like morning light before the eyes of many. This is not for your pride, but for my glory. This is not about proving anything to others. This is about displaying what heaven does with a pure vessel. You sowed in the dark, but I will cause you to reap in the open. You gave from lack, and I will bless you in abundance. You prayed with nothing, and I will answer with more than you imagined. I do not let pure hearts labor in vain. I do not let hidden obedience go unrewarded. And now I will cause the fruit of those quiet seasons to break through the soil and bear witness to my faithfulness. This public blessing is not to shame others. It is to honor me. It is to show what happens when someone walks with me in stillness, when someone loves me more than recognition, when someone refuses to give up, even when no harvest seems near. That someone is you. That faithful one, that soft-hearted, tear-stained, quietly courageous one is you. You have walked the long road of obedience, and now you will walk into wide places of release. Do not be surprised when the spotlight finds you. Do not be afraid when platforms are offered. This is not the reward of man, it is the reward of heaven. I will open doors that no hand can close. I will call your name in rooms you did not apply for, and I will grant favor where you were once forgotten. You were never lost. You were planted, and now it is time to rise. This is the kind of harvest that touches more than your hands, it reaches generations. What I release through you will bless those you haven't even met. The oil I've pressed out of your pain will anoint others for victory. The wisdom you carry, born through fire, will break chains around those still trapped in silence. You will not rise for vanity. You will rise for impact. So walk forward, not with arrogance, but with assurance. Not with fear, but with faith. You are not stepping into luck. You are stepping into legacy. This harvest is not temporary. It is prophetic. It is public only because the private cost was so high. And I, your God, am not unjust to forget what you endured for me. Chosen one, as the shift unfolds and the doors begin to open, there is something I must place upon your spirit with urgency and tenderness. Do not let fear rob what I have prepared for you. Do not let doubt silence what I have spoken. And do not allow those who were not present in your suffering to have authority over your blessing. This next chapter is holy. Guard it. There will be voices, some loud, some subtle, that question, why now? Why you? Why this way? They will not understand the weight of the silence you carried. They will not recognize the price of the oil that now flows from your life. They did not walk through the fire with you. They did not sit with you in the valley. But I did. I was there. I was present in every tear, every night, every quiet battle. So when they question what is happening, remember this was never about their understanding. It was about your obedience. You do not owe explanations for divine timing. You do not need permission to walk through a door. I opened. Some will be confused. Some will be envious. But you, chosen one, you will have peace. Because you will know that this shift was not man-made, not manipulated, not manufactured. It was my design. It was heaven's response to earth's surrender. Remember what I have told you. The man I have sent is not your destination, but your door. Do not anchor your identity to his presence. Do not measure your worth by the opportunity. Keep your eyes on me. Favor will come, but so will the temptation to forget who brought it. Do not forget. Do not drift. Remain grounded in the same purity that brought you here. Let the same heart that served in secret now steward the spotlight with holiness. Stay low in posture, even when you are lifted in position. Stay soft in spirit, even when the world turns hard. Stay faithful to me above all, above platforms, above praise, above provision. You are chosen because you remain true when it cost you everything. I will bless you, but I will also preserve you. I will surround you, but I ask that you remain surrendered. The enemy will attempt to whisper that it's too good to be true, but I remind you now, it is not too good to be true. It is just the nature of my goodness, and I do not bless halfway. I bless with fullness because I am not just your God, I am your Father. I give not as the world gives, but as heaven gives, pressed down, shaken together, running over. So receive this shift with reverence, receive it with discernment, and above all, receive it with joy. For you did not stumble into this moment. You were led, and what I lead I cover. Chosen one, this is not the end of your story. This is the beginning I myself have prepared. Not a recycled hope, not a second-hand blessing, but a fresh unveiling of everything I've spoken over you since the beginning. You have not missed your moment. You have not lost your way. You are not too late. You are right on time for my time. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment was part of the architecture of glory. I was not punishing you, I was preparing you. I was pruning what could not survive where you are going. You asked for peace, so I removed what warred against it. You asked for purpose, so I stripped away what blurred your vision. You asked to be used, so I refined you until only the eternal remained. Now the pressure lifts. Now the weight is replaced by wonder. The ache is giving way to answers, and the silence is unfolding into song. What is ahead will not resemble what is behind. You are stepping into unfamiliar joy, the kind that no longer asks permission to stay, the kind that builds legacy, not just relief, the kind that flows through everything you touch. I am not just changing your address, I am transforming your atmosphere. I am rebuilding your name, your rhythm, your rest. You will walk into rooms with a new sound and speak from a place of healed authority, not driven by survival but led by purpose. The sorrow of yesterday will not follow you here. The version of you that endured the desert will not be needed in the garden. Let it go. You are being made new. And when the man arrives, the one I sent, the one I whispered to welcome him with grace but not with idolization, he is not your rescue. I already rescued you. He is a reward, not a replacement. Treat him not as a savior, but as a sign that the season has truly shifted. Now breathe, chosen one. Breathe deep. The page has turned. The weight has lifted. The door has opened. And I, the Lord your God, go before you, walk beside you, and dwell within you. You have honored me in private. Now I will honor you in public. Welcome to the beginning. I have finished what I started, and it is beautiful. If your spirit was stirred by this word, don't leave in silence. Write these words below as a declaration of faith. I receive what heaven has prepared for me. Let it be written. Let it be witnessed. Let heaven see your yes. Your words are not for the algorithm. They are for the altar. Write them below and let heaven respond.